Salvete discipuli, this is help for your Latin studies in Henley First Year Latin, exercise number 147. In this exercise, we've just been introduced to pronouns of the second person. So in your blue book, in the grammar book, you're going to look at rule number 124 to see the second person personal pronoun forms. And they're easy to chant. There's also, if you Google on YouTube, there's some pretty clever songs that people have put these forms to. So, but we always just chant tu, tui, tibi, te, te. It kind of rolls off kind of neatly. And wos, westri, wobis, wos, wobis, or westrum. We'll get into a little bit more about the different forms that plural genitive can take, and when you would choose to use which one. But for now, just know that there are two, and then when we need to know more about that, we'll explore it. All right, in exercise number 147, we're asked to translate and express the italicized pronouns. So similar to what we did in exercise 146 with first person, we're going to do now in exercise 147 with the second person personal pronouns. We've been given a little bit more vocabulary, so there's our second person personal pronouns in the singular and plural. And don't just memorize these two words, but the whole list, or the whole list on here. And then also a couple new verbs, teneo, tenere, tenui, tentus, meaning to hold, and moveo, movere, movi, motus, meaning move. And then we've got a new adverb, tamen, nevertheless, and neque, a conjunction meaning nor. Or I suppose you could use it as and, not. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's take a look at exercise 147. Number 1 says, I, that's the one we want to focus on, I shall give you, another one to focus on, singular, a reward. Okay, so I is our subject. It's going to be a nominative singular, so we have I meaning ego. And then we have this form of you, singular. I shall give you. That's the direct object. That's the person receiving the action of giving. And so we need to have this personal pronoun you, and it's singular, in the singular accusative form. So if I check my pronoun chart, singular accusative is te. That's what we'll use in the sentence here. So you in this exercise number is going to be te. Okay, so with that in mind, then we've got our verb shall give, that's future tense, and we would always put our verbs at the end of the sentence. And let's think this through again. I shall give you a reward. I'm not giving you, I'm giving a reward to you. So this is incorrect. This is actually the indirect object. This is the person that the direct object is for. I shall give a reward to you. So this should be in the dative case. Let's look at that again. So now we've got our second person personal pronoun singular dative. That's going to be tibi. And so, okay, so now reward, that's our direct object. And the noun that we have for reward is, let's check it out here in our Unit 1 and 2 review. Reward, primium primii. It's a second declension neuter noun. E-o, o. E, or a, orum, is, a, e. Is. Okay, so primium primii, reward. And we want that to be our direct object. So we would put it in the accusative and singular form. All right, so reward. E-o, primium. That's our translation for that direct object. Okay, so let's write the sentence. So we have our subject, ego, I. Then we're going to jump here to the next word, we're putting our verb at the end, so skip over the verb, come to our next word, you, which is in the dative form. It's the person receiving the direct object. Ego, tibi, primium. There's our direct object. And then shall give. Now I'm going to take our verb for give, do, dare, deity, datus, and I need to make it first person singular. It has to agree with our subject. And I'm going to make it future tense. So with that in mind, do would be first person singular present tense, but we need to make it future. So future would be bo, bis, bit, bimis, bitis, bunt. So I'm going to take our stem, da, and add our future ending, bo, dabo. So ego, tibi, primium, dabo. Let's try one more here, number 2. It says, the Lord fights for you. So you here is plural. It's talking about multiple people, a group of you. Our subject, the Lord. And fights is our verb. We'll put that at the end, this present tense. This for is actually a preposition. Okay, so it would be that pro preposition, on behalf of, right? He fights and on behalf of you. So our preposition here for is pro, and that takes the ablative form of you, plural. So I want to come here to plural ablative and use vobis. Vobis. That's our italicized word. So I'm just going to write that down. Vobis. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our sentence then. The Lord. Dominus, domini. That is singular and it's nominative. So we'll go with dominus. Pro, because we're going to put our verb, fights, at the end. Pro vobis. And now our verb fights. It's got to be present tense and it needs to agree with our subject in gender, number, case. So, person, number, and tense. So this is a third person singular. And it is present tense. It's happening now. The Lord fights for you, or on behalf of you. So fights, pugno, pugnare. Let's give it a third person singular present tense ending. O-S-T. Pugnat. Dominus pro vobis pugnat. All right, I hope this has been helpful to you. Have a great day.